And we're live. Let me just make sure I got mic coming through. I don't know if I do. Well, that sucks, doesn't it? And check, check. I don't think that's working. Let's go and. Oh, maybe it is. Check. Let's edit. Cancel that. I'm just going to have to say, I think this is working. It's going to be embarrassing if I'm talking to myself and you don't hear anything, but got my coffee, ready to talk a little bit about some problems that maybe some of us new managers are having in our day-to-day. You can hear me. Amazing. Appreciate the help. It's always funny when you're talking to yourself, trying to get things rocking and rolling, but and of course, last minute, this is not great management practice, but last minute, I thought, let me plug into this mic because it's a little bit closer as of the one that's a little bit further away. Very silly. Anyway, I wanted to jump on here, one, to answer any comments, any questions that people have, specifically about leadership, about management. I mean, we can talk about anything, to be honest. I also want to bring awareness to the Better Boss Club, which is open now. So if you want to be a founding member, if you want to get in on the good prices, do that before midnight of Monday, December 1st. At some point later in this chat, we'll get into, I want to show you what I kind of built and how it looks as we start to get people enrolled. But we need to talk about a few of the problems, and I'd love to know if any of these resonate with you. But there's a problem with being promoted, even just hired as a new manager or promoted from within. But typically, you're good at the job you do. And people tend to go to you with questions. People tend to go to you because they're looking for a solution, and you know everything. Then what happens is you either get promoted from within or you get hired to be a manager at a new place, and you don't know that job. You weren't trained for that job. You're going to get training. You're going to get a packet. You're going to say, this is the HR rules. You're going to say, these are the policies and the procedures that we have to follow. But you're not getting management training. How do I deal with these two people that hate each other? How do I deal with these people that hate me? How do I get people to listen? How do I get people to know that I'm in charge? That is one of the biggest gaps that I've seen. The people that I've coached, that's those are the biggest gaps to fill, because we aren't given training on how to lead. Of course, you can do it yourself. You can go and grab the books. You can go to the seminars. You can go become part of different clubs, different memberships. And I'll explain why I hope that you'll see mine is different, or ours is different. But that's all on your own time. No other job are you expected to learn things on your own time. They set up training. Police officers get training. Mechanics get training. Like the people that do the physical work, the teachers, they get training. But to lead them, that's kind of a gap. There's no roadmap. You know, if you're lucky, very lucky, maybe you can find a mentor in the place you work. And that's somebody who either had the job you had before or is doing like a fellow manager. And maybe they're willing to share some tips and tricks. And watch out for that guy, Joe. He's a bit of an ass. But that's a lot of hope. And as I've said a few times in my videos, hope is not a management strategy. That's not a leadership way of doing things. And when we come in as new managers, immediately we start being judged on skills that we're not trained for. Again, if you're coming into a role as a manager, there's a huge gap. You need to give yourself time. People need to give you time to climatize to the job. And when we come in, I don't know. I mean, when I was a young buck and I got my first manager's job, I came in and I'm changing the world. I know what's wrong. Boy, I was wrong. That couldn't be further from the truth. And people are watching you, especially if you're young. What are you going to mess up around here? How are you going to try and ruin my life? Because that's how people see. That's how I saw new managers. When I had older managers that I'd been working with for a while, I knew how to operate. I knew how to work around them. But when the new guy comes in, as an employee, the fear is, how is this person going to shake up my world? How is this person going to make me do more work that I don't want to do? And these are all real concerns that I think are valid. If you have questions, do drop them in the comments, because I really want this to be an opportunity so that we can share a moment. Listen, I can talk all day to myself, but if you have comments, even after I post this recording, it's no longer live, I'll still be monitoring the comments. So do jump in. But I want you to know that leadership is one of those things where if you are patient with yourself, it will come to you. It's not something that you can just typically jump in. Even as an experienced manager, jumping into a new job, a new position, a new role, it's not easy. It's doable. It's, something, but see, I just love jumping in here off. So I should find someone that has been a general manager. Absolutely. Or somebody who has experience, maybe not a general manager, maybe a different manager, but you want to be able to talk to people that understand, because you're enrolling into something new. So what's the expectation? You want to be able to talk to whoever hired you, the operations manager, maybe see if they can guide you. Maybe operations manager was a general manager. I'm thinking restaurant industry. That's where I have general manager, and then operational was looking after multiple restaurants. Sometimes they'll be willing to mentor. And you want to be able to find somebody that's had to, like, as a general manager, you're not only just leading your staff, but your staff now includes managers. And we want to be able to lead them. And you can't necessarily lead them the same way as you would lead the frontline staff. So absolutely, finding mentors is very powerful. It's one of the ways that, listen, you don't have to make my mistakes. So if I've done your job, it's worthwhile for you to try to pick my brain, to ask me questions, so that you don't bounce around and make the same mistakes. It's not a good use of time. What I want to do, while, if there's questions, again, throw them in the chat. I want to see if I can share my screen here, because I'm very excited with, okay, hold on, allow. I want to share a window. I think I got it. This right here. Oh, I'm in here too. Okay, perfect. This is what I've been building. And again, it's the start of a club where you're looking for a mentor. My prayer, my hope is that you'll find them in this group as we start building it out. I'm allowing a few people in to begin with, just so that we can all kind of climatize. I can work one-on-one with people to see what's working in this membership, what's not working, where I can add more value, how we can get more people, more value. But this is the gist of it. This is your homepage where you're going to get all your feeds. You're going to see my scary mug here doing a welcome video. On the side here, we have meetups. So if you're joining the Essentials membership, every week we have a live stream like this where it's just for members. And as we get started, it'll probably be one or two of you that show up. If you were to choose the professional level, every other week it's a live. So we will share a Zoom link and we get to talk as a group. Again, for the beginning, it might just be you and I, it might be you and I and a couple, but we get to chit chat and really kind of feel out leadership together. Feel out your specific situation. Um, you go on Google, you go to chat, you go to Gemini, all these AIs, you can get answers, you can get information. But I feel information is just one part of leadership. How do you implement it? And of course, I don't know how familiar you guys are, but working with AI, fantastic. I get a lot of great ideas, but it's hard for me to share the nuanced situations that I'm dealing with on a day to day basis with a computer screen that's, you know, text based. But when I'm able to jump on a Zoom call with colleagues of mine and really kind of share the struggles, share the situations that I'm dealing with, I get a better understanding of how I can address it. And I get to pick and choose information that's being shared. Let me jump in here. I see Priscilla jumped in again. What if I'm a general manager slash owner, brand new at this? It's a gift from my husband. What a nice gift. Well, you need to, I'm not going to listen. I'm going to say jump in on the Better Boss Club. Um, but in reality, I know a lady who started a candle making company, and she has created quite the network of fellow small business owners where they're in, you know, whether it be social media, t-shirts, like clothing. I'm trying to think who else I've seen on her socials where she shares different also candle makers, and they have like a little mastermind, exactly what I'm building here at Better Boss Club. But they've created a live, in real life mastermind group where they can share their situations. And typically, like you're an entrepreneur now, you're not just a general manager. You're an entrepreneur. You're running a business, so you're going to want to have conversations with people that know how to run a business, people that have failed at businesses so that you can maybe learn what not to do, what to avoid. I mean, that's very, very valuable. That's what I would look to immediately. I'd be looking for your local chamber of commerce. I think they have groups that you would be able to join. Um, oh shoot, there's one. I think it's in Canada, uh, in the U.S. Can't think of the name of it, but they meet once a month, and basically it's a networking. Oh, it's gonna come to me right when I turn off this live stream. But the gist of it is you go, you meet with these people, you would be the only I don't know what your business is, but you would be the person for that business. And other, like, let's say you run a restaurant, well, you would have a painter, a barber, accountant, lawyer, all these different specialties. All buffet restaurant. Why did you say that you were doing a restaurant, or did I just pick that up? Because that's crazy. So you would be the only restaurant in this group, and all these different experts, entrepreneurs, business owners are sharing. And one part is you share business, you share contacts, but the biggest value is that you share what's working and what's not working, and you get outside perspective. So that's what I would be looking for, is other people that are doing the business thing, entrepreneurship. If you know people in restaurants, because you really got to know your food costs and how to, and your labor costs, and keep those margins right. Um, that's 100% what I'd be looking for. Yeah. So back to the Better Boss Club, and what we've built here is there's also weekly challenges. Now, again, we're just starting up, so I've got an initial challenge. Oh, mine's due now. Um, so a watch. It's an introduce yourself, and then November's challenge is lead through change with clarity. November's theme is about leading through change. And every month for the rest of the year, I've got it mapped out for each month that there's a theme that we go through, and it gives you challenges and it gives you, listen, not stuff that's going to take you a whole month of work. These are just little things that would be beneficial for you to try out, conversations that you should try with your staff if certain situations arise, or you have to change the menu and you're going to get people grumbling about it, whether that be wait staff, kitchen staff, people that come to your restaurant. So, how do we lead our team, our customers through this change in a positive manner, pulling their input, but not letting that dictate on how things should be run? And again, this is where, I want us to be able to come here, go onto the home. What wins did you have? Priscilla, you just had your husband, a gift from your husband, which is a buffet restaurant. Oh my God. That's a win for you, for your family, for the team. That could be something that you share, but you're also probably going to have a few struggles. And that would be something that as we build this, as more members join, we start getting, 1 plus 1 is 2. But when we talk about putting our brain powers, our synergies together, 1 plus 1 is 3. And the idea here is just to keep building and keep having new members join, so that we're getting information from a bunch of different people that have the right mindset, because the leadership mindset is not for everybody. Not everybody wants to have that thought process. Not everybody should get into leadership, or sorry, get into management. Um, a lot of people, at least when I was getting promoted, would, all in good fun, but they would belittle the choices that I've made and how I shared things. So having a group where you can really come on here and share, maybe even vent. Because here's a situation that I'd love for you to keep in mind. When you're in a leadership role, it's hard to vent to the guy or the gal that hired you, because you don't want them thinking, did I make a mistake hiring this person? You don't want to vent to your colleagues, fellow managers, because some places it's a dog eat dog world and they will use any opportunity to step on you. So we got to be a little bit guarded, even though I hate that idea, but it is what it is. And you don't want to vent to your staff, because I mean, that's kind of unprofessional. Um, and people can take things. I mean, I always hope that we have good people around us, but that's not always the truth. Um, so, you can't vent down, but in a mastermind, in a club like this, you're able to vent, and nobody's the wiser in your circle. You're able to vent, and then maybe somebody say, "Well, I hear what you're saying, but did you look at it this way?" And maybe you're getting frustrated by something that, when a fellow leader puts it in a different perspective, you're like, "Oh, snap. I see that. I can fix that. I don't even need to involve such and such a person." Um, so that's really the value that I see in this group here. Now, I don't think I can do it from here, but what we also have, when you join the Better Boss Club, you have information. So in the club, we're able to talk and really get into things to help everybody understand, help myself understand. Um, but every product I've made, whether that be a 7-week leadership confidence building course, whether that be a 30-day boot camp, whether that be my playbook, my 90-day schedule for how to successfully start your first 90 days, everything is included in joining this membership. So with that said, let me see what we got. Priscilla, we got you here. I've been studying a lot of things on YouTube. I know I need more. Thank you. We always need more. One of the things I've learned, because I mean, YouTube is fantastic for learning. There's 2 things. One is, make sure you're following the people that you connect with. I think that's just natural, but I hear other people have to say it. If you connect with somebody, you like how they share their ideas, you want to be able to follow them. But 2, there comes a point, and I did this when I was learning how to actually do YouTube and be on YouTube and share, start Leadership with Mike. There's at some point, there's only so much information you can absorb. So I see this right here. You just put it. So keep implementing with fresh ideas. Pay attention. Yes. Go to YouTube, talk to Chat GPT, hang out with Google, get as much information as you can in it, but put a time frame on this is what I'm going to learn. Then we have to move and we have to start implementing it. And that's where you're really going to find the benefits of having a mentor or having peers to have these conversations with, because you're going to be like, listen, this is what I read. This is how I implemented. And this is the shit show that I got out of it. And having somebody able to listen, I'm just thinking of TikTok. We listen, but we don't judge. Having somebody be able to listen to what you learned, how you understood it, then how you implemented it, and the result, that is of huge value to be able to say to somebody, this is, maybe you should have thought of this way. Or have you ever considered that? Again, it's having the peers that I think it can be the most powerful um, thing for any manager. And that's one of the things that I had as I was learning my way is I had a good group there. I remember clearly one restaurant manager. She was the general manager. Fantastic. I learned so much from her on how to deal with people. She was fun. She was friendly. She was firm. You didn't mess with her. When she said this is what's happening, that better be what's happening. But she did it in a way that was so respectful that if you didn't succeed, if you didn't do what she was ultimately asking for you to do, like for myself, I felt guilty. I felt like I let her down. That's the type of boss that I've been wanting to be. That's the type of boss that I strive to be at the end of the day. Now, again, get your chat or get your comments, questions in the chat. I've got another few minutes to be on this live stream, but I want to make sure that you understand this. If you're considering joining the Better Boss Club, and I highly recommend it. I know the guy running it, pretty cool guy, but it's really for managers, newly promoted, some maybe feeling a touch overwhelmed, no matter the experience, but it's really to help you gain an understanding because we don't have the roadmap. There is no roadmap for how to lead properly. There's just, in my opinion, there's conversations that can be had that can really help educate people, educate you, educate myself. And when we're learning together, that is the most powerful thing because every video that I put out on YouTube, I'm learning from it. I have a general idea, but as I do more research into it, as I start scripting it, does this make sense? It's really helping me as a leader grow. And I hope that it helps you, one, as a video content, it helps you grow as a manager, as a leader, but also to think of the conversations that you have are really going to help you develop. So that's the idea behind the Better Boss Club. That's the reason I have it running and I've put so much time and effort into it, which not saying you should care, but I do because it's my work. But the deal is this. It's ready. It's ready for founding members. You can sign up today. Link, I've pinned it in the comments. It's ready for you. I'm here every day. And when there's comments, questions, concerns, funny memes, I'm all for that. But ultimately, I'm for making an impact on as many people as I can. And if I can, meet you in the Better Boss Club and provide any kind of value that helps you in your day, that helps me sleep at night. It's as simple as that. So, with that said, I thank you for joining the live stream. Check out the pinned comment in the description just so you can check out if the Better Boss Club is for you, which it is. Yeah. See you in the next video. Ciao.